Rolling rocks instead. Why did that? Why did you guys see that? That boulder waited. That boulder fucking waited until I got there. That was kind of fucked up.
It's me, Mario.
Oh, fuck. So Alpharad and Ross recommended Adriana and I hire a personal trainer because, you know, exercise or whatever. We had our first thing with our personal trainer today that we ended up hiring, and it was like an assessment. You know what I mean? It was just like all right, let's see where you're at. Yeah. No, we didn't hire Jack, but that probably would have been fine too. Jack had been like, all right, I want you to run around the house a bunch, brah. Let's fucking do it.
Me, Mario.
It's a me, Mario. What am I running today? We are doing 16 star Mario 64. Any tips for someone wanting to learn how to BLJ? BLJ is always one of those tricks that like you feel like you got it. You feel like you figured out what the secret sauce is, and then you can never do it again. So the best thing I could say is only mash when Mario is coming down on the steps, because that's when the BLJ can happen. Don't just mash indefinitely because you're just going to tire yourself out. It really does kind of come down though to get in position, get a good, there's a few camera things that you can do to optimize it. You just gotta mash and pray. Doing this on a Switch with a GameCube controller? Well, if you're trying to do this in the Mario shit, is the All-Stars thing even still a thing anymore? Because they actually, they made the version that you can't BLJ in. That could also be a problem. Is that better advice? Just don't, because you're doing it on a Switch. They kind of updated the game slightly to make it so that Mario doesn't have like infinite backwards momentum. The actual mechanic that makes the BLJ work is taken out of the game. People say like they patched out BLJs. It's not really they patched out BLJs so much as they patched out what makes a BLJ work. They didn't like go into the code. Like everyone says like, oh, they went into the code and they deleted BLJ.exe. We had our first personal trainer thing today, and they had us do like planks and fucking sit-ups and push-ups. And holy fuck, Mario, you are killing me right now. Maybe? No. Yeah, planks are awesome because they work everything from the core out. Sometimes when we were doing banjo for the stretch breaks, I was actually doing planks during speedruns. Sometimes thoughts are painful. Ah, yes, a lot of those thoughts are unproductive. The trick is being able to like be aware of the thoughts that are going by rather than just being in the fucking noisy ass room that your brain is. Because I know for a lot of people, like me included at one point, when I would sit in a room in complete silence, it was actually louder because of the thoughts that were running through my head. You know what I mean? So I would actually prefer to have things playing or have running water or a fan, things like that. And it's scary because it's just like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to function if I don't have these things to crutch onto? Do I have to sit there with my thoughts? I have so many thoughts. I was kind of shit talking Headspace last stream, but Headspace is where I got one of my favorite kind of like easy metaphors for like this whole thing, which is like your mind is kind of like a highway. It's got all these fucking thoughts going by. When you're on the side of the highway, it's so loud. All of these thoughts are going by. It's like, you know, it's crazy. And until you start kind of like noticing each individual car is when they finally stop kind of being so congested and so free to kind of just be wherever they want. So what you kind of have to do is be like, oh, that's a red car, rather than just hear, you know. The same way you can start by like labeling thoughts. So be able to be like, okay, that's a negative thought, that's a positive thought. And then eventually be able to say like maybe this thing that I'm thinking about gives me a positive or negative feeling. And then eventually be able to kind of like turn those thoughts into like bubbles that just kind of like float away. And you're not supposed to try to be like, fuck you thought, get out of here. It's more about just like being aware of the thought going by and letting it just go rather than holding on to it. You actually kind of hold on to it when you're trying to like fucking, you know, push it away. It's kind of counterintuitive. But the thoughts only go away when you just kind of just notice they're there and then let them pass like trees on the side of your car. And when you're driving and you see a tree go by, you don't think about that tree. That's an example of something that you have seen, taken into account, and let go. That you let go past you in a car. You can do that with thoughts. That's the goal when you're ruminating. Yeah, the easiest way to think about stuff is just fucking be stupid, because then you can't think about it. I'm such a simp. I appreciate you, though. You don't have to stop. This dab is for you. Pew, 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 pew. And that green split's for you. Parental controls on consoles is something everyone probably remembers. I don't. I grew up with fucking N64, which did not have parental controls. The parental controls was don't let your kid play Conker's Bad Fur Day or fucking South Park or GoldenEye. Doing Rolling Rocks instead. Why did you guys see that? That boulder waited. That boulder fucking waited until I got there. That was kind of fucked up. Yeah, parental controls was, Mom, can I buy this? And then she was like, no. There's a titty sunflower in that game. But look at Conker. Conker's so cute. How can you tell me that's not a kid's character? And your mom goes, no, I know that's a kid's character. They put fucking titties and gore. Titties and gore. Titties and gore. Any part-time job? Yeah, so work was a bitch. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Yeah, work can suck, dude. Immediately before YouTube, I was a software tech at a company. I kind of worked from home, which was nice because I could kind of work on YouTube on my off time. But it was still pretty strict in that I couldn't just move my fucking mouse around every once in a while. Get in the door. There we go. Okay, so we missed second text, so I'm okay with that. My favorite game? I don't know. I always put like this game, like whenever people ask me like what my favorite games are, I always like mention this game. I mention Banjo-Kazooie, Jet Force Gemini, but then I'll throw in like Nier Automata. I love Dark Souls, RuneScape. So I'm not like Adrian is a super fan of Ace Attorney. I like Ace Attorney, but not as. Keep this a secret. Don't tell anybody. But I actually got into Ace Attorney because I wanted to impress Adriana. Back before we dated, she would talk about Ace Attorney a lot, and I was like, oh, I just got a DS, so like maybe I could play it. And I was just like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna try Ace Attorney. So I started playing it and started telling her about it, and it was kind of a cool way to get talking with her and stuff. And Deb. I got all the way to like the second to last case because like there's a really short case at the end of the first game. I didn't get to that one, but I almost finished the one before that, which is very long. I wanted to finish it, but come on. I wanted to finish it, but I think I spent too long away from it that when I went back to it, I had no idea what the fuck was happening. Holy shit. I haven't found a flow with Instagram or TikTok. Twitter, I feel like I've got a flow with, and YouTube, obviously, but it's weird. You kind of have to play them all kind of like individual games. This is gonna be a sub 20. Oh, yeah. First full run's a sub 20. I think that's pretty good. 1953. Take it. Try it again. You ever seen cells at work? You mean like fucking like under a microscope? Mitochondria, powerhouse of the cell, the membrane, insane in the membrane. Think they mean anime? We don't talk about anime here. We're not fucking nerds. I would like to get to like Heaven Sword and shit. Wow, this run sucks. I'll do another one. Is there a Twitch blackout tomorrow? What are we fucking protesting? Are we fucking protesting some shit? Are you bringing drama to my channel right now? Hate raids on Twitch. How does that stop hate raids on Twitch? Twitch is inaction on anything regarding the hate raids. What can Twitch do about it? I would like to know before I start, because like everyone comes in and they're like, oh, like, have you heard the drama? I don't know, like I feel like the way to get through to Twitch is not to fucking try to like punish them. I've been generally impressed at how much Twitch is just like, yeah, we hear ya, so we're gonna try this, but they're not gonna be like, yeah, we hear ya, but we're gonna try, but we've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas, I think it might come down to just like deleting raids, you know what I mean? Like official raids, or change it in some way. A Twitch boycott to try to convince Twitch to do something about hate raids. It reminds me of like a child who's like holding his breath. It's like, I'm gonna suffocate and die unless you do something, and some parents can't deal with that, right? And Twitch can deal with it. Like, it's not that Twitch doesn't care about you, it's that Twitch cares about you, but it's not a whole lot if Twitch loses a few streamers, you know what I mean? It's a company and they gotta fucking do shit the way they gotta fucking do shit. Yeah, not everything is black and white. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, Twitch does a way better job about listening to the community than YouTube does. YouTube, I think, is at a point where they almost fucking can't. Like, how the fuck do you listen to the YouTube community, in a way that, like, is actually, like, productive for everybody, because you have such a big community that like certain things that help some creators will hurt others, you know what I mean? Think about like how people were really pissed off about clickbait and these channels that would kind of like, just kind of like almost like American style capitalism, like the top 1% channels would have like a large percentage of all the subscribers because it's just they get pushed because all people care about is fucking whether or not you click, like views. You get a lot of views, you get a lot of push, But then it needed to change to amount of fucking content that you put out because it started being about watch time retention, started being about click-through rates and stuff like that. And that killed animators. Like, it absolutely killed animators on YouTube because they can't put out videos the same rate Let's Players and fucking vloggers can. So Let's Players and vloggers are just gonna have better fucking watch time retention than animators. It really worked for vloggers and Let's Players, but it fucking killed animators on YouTube. And that's just how it fucking works. It's sad, but it's not sad for everybody. And YouTube is a big enough platform where every decision they make is gonna have a positive and a negative reaction. It's not gonna be like hate raids, you know? Like where it's just like, okay, here's this actually evil fucking thing that people are doing. How do we delete it? YouTube is the same people that published YouTube Rewind 2018. That's not even remotely correct. The people making the decisions at YouTube were not holding the fucking cameras for YouTube Rewind 2018. Yeah! What's the fucking V channel with the guy who talks about educational topics and shit? It's not Veritaserum. That's the shit that makes you tell the truth in Harry Potter. Veritasium. Yeah, Veritasium. No, not Vsauce. Not Vsauce. He did a video on clickbait recently that's very, very interesting, and I highly recommend everybody watch it. Especially if you have this mentality of like, clickbait is bad. Like, people should just stop making clickbait. And he talks about how there's kind of different definitions of clickbait, and there's kind of like, there's certain clickbait that's good. You know, there's certain clickbait that is just literally like, well, I want you to watch my video, please. I'm not gonna sit here and fucking make a shit thumbnail. I'm gonna make a thumbnail that I think people will click. And that is, you know, obviously applicable, but if the video is like, here's how to fucking change your muffler, and it's a thumbnail with titties in it, it's like, well, you kind of know that that's a little fucked up, so that's actually not gonna work. YouTube algorithm is a harsh and inscrutable mistress. I also disagree with that statement. YouTube does not have one single algorithm. Every individual user has their own individual algorithms based on what they watch, based on fucking terrible Bowser throws. I think a lot of people end up fucking thinking like, oh, I gotta appeal to the algorithm, and you're already fucking lost. Like the second you're like, I have to appeal to the algorithm, like it's over. You just need to make the best content you can and promote it in the best way you can with the best titles and thumbnails that you can. Yeah, the only algorithm you gotta be is your own. Just do what Scott the Watson does. Yeah, okay, except don't, because he's already done it, and you're always just gonna fucking live in the shadow of him if you try to do that. It's a much more complicated issue than people think, you know? Everyone's just like, just do this, just appease the algorithm, just do this, just do vlogs, just do Let's Plays, just do fucking what Scott the Waz does, just do what Simple Flips does, it's not that fucking simple. It's never that fucking simple. It wasn't that fucking simple 10 years ago. I don't really know what happened there. YouTube cares about money. If you don't make them money, they cut you out. They don't cut you out, they just deprioritize you. Oh wait, did I save somewhere? Where the fuck did I save? Yeah!